Obviously a big win for us. Northwestern is a great team, outstanding pitching, and they really are a good hitting team. So to be able to sneak away with a win there is a big deal moving for us for the rest of the weekend. I thought Autumn was tremendous on the mound. They started off that big home run and she was able to calm everything down. And when they would put people on base, and they had quite a few, she was able to come up with some big pitches. So I thought that was pretty much the key to the game today.
Start out with Larry.
Rachel, let's talk a little bit about the double play that Mallory ended up turning for you there, that throw to second base.
Oh yeah, that was big because, they started the inning, the girl got a hit, then they come in, they bunt. And I mean, granted she got out, but to be able to get out of that I think it was a big momentum shift then, because I think it kind of put a tiny, not a big dagger, but a tiny dagger in their heart. I think if they get that runner at second, you never know if they're going to score. And then we have a completely different game moving forward.
Is that just the kind of play you would expect a senior to be courageous enough to try to make there on that situation?
I think so. And we always talk about the bigger the game, the bigger the risk. And even though we are the number 1 seed, we don't feel like we have a lot to lose here. So, we're just going to go out, go for broke and see what happens.
Go to Josh next.
All right. So there was a minute there, or a stretch there, where Autumn and the defense only 2 of the batters that it got on. It was like a stretch of 13 or 14 in a row there at the end. You talked about her calming things down. I guess when they're hit the ball as well as they do, and that one girl Cochran, she had like 3 other hits, and kind of put a threat there at the end. I guess how do you knowing that you've kind of recovered, I guess, does that kind of ease things there in the 7th? Yeah, I think the fact that we were the home team was calming for us. I think that's a great thing to be the home team. Sometimes I've noticed with us all year that we're the home team. We're so calm about things because we know, hey, we're going to be able to get runs at the end. So obviously we don't want to be that way. I thought that Autumn coming up with those big pitches and getting those big outs were a big deal. And then of course, the ball always finds the freshmen in their first game of a postseason in the 7th inning. But it's good that she's, Erin's going through this because she'll be better for it moving forward, I think. Offensively, obviously we didn't have a great performance offensively. I just don't think we did a good enough job looking for anything specifically. I think we were so amped up to do well, even though it probably didn't show, that we didn't do a good job. We weren't very selective and we were just swinging. Okay.
Have any more questions for Coach Lawson?
I have one actually. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. So I was just wondering, this is probably the biggest turnout crowd-wise that you've had since COVID started. How did they really play into the victory today?
Oh, it's so much fun. Since we've added the berm and you walk out to the field and you see that that's completely packed. And then, we're only at about 50% capacity. So you walk on the field and we have such a faithful following, and they were in the game and, they're cheering for us and they're giving us the boost that we kind of need from an energy perspective. We have such a great fan base and they do such an awesome job of showing up for the postseason. I know that it's probably our favorite time. Well, it's not probably, it is our favorite time of the year for sure.
Go to Tim Letcher next.
Rachel, after you guys fell behind, it seemed like in the bottom of that inning, you came out and you were super aggressive. Just talk about did that spark your team falling behind, or was it just a mentality to be more aggressive at that point in the game?
One of the things that I just love about this team is they've got a big fight mentality. So I think what happened is when they scored the runs, it's like, okay, we've got to answer back. And so I think that's exactly what happened in that inning. I think we answered back. I think we put pressure on their defense. And then, they ended up making some defensive miscues, which is what always happens in softball. So I thought that the home run kind of sparked us. And then, we got after it. And then I think we got our 3 runs and then everybody kind of calmed down again. So, I mean, that's something we're going to probably have to fix moving forward.
Go to John next.
Hi, Rachel. Their pitcher, Williams, she's their ace. She's had a really good year. She's a really strong pitcher. As you continue to advance, you're going to be facing a lot of aces out there, and pitchers are so dominant in softball, especially in the postseason. How do you prepare your team? What was their mindset going in when they're facing such strong pitchers right out of the gate?
Well, obviously, Nat, we've known all year that we're going to face only great pitchers. That's how you get to the postseason, is great pitching and solid defense. And how we prepare is we try to prepare for different type of pitches. We try to work on pitch adjustments and stuff going in, knowing that we could face anybody at any time. I think we haven't seen a lot of lefties this year. I think that contributed some to the lull that we had in the middle. Just visually, there just aren't a ton of lefties in the SEC right now. So I think that for a second that kind of created a little bit of a havoc for us. But you just have to, in the postseason, you just have to get ready for anything, and you're really looking for a ball on the plate and hoping to get on time with the pitcher.
I mean, it's human nature to kind of want to get the big hit and to, as Coach Cal would say, play hero ball. How are you able to kind of keep that from happening?
Well, I think our team understands that we're only going to go as far as we can go together. Autumn has done an outstanding job for us, but we have to come up with defensive plays behind them. We do hit home runs, but it's not like we hit so many home runs that we're going to be able to win games that way. So we're going to really have to play together as a team, situationally hit advanced runners, that sort of thing. So we're fully aware that, you can't really be the hero because we need everybody to move forward. And that's something this program's been based off of forever. And it's something that I think is actually one of our strongest points.
Larry, have you got your hand up for another question?
Yes, I do. Rachel, could you explain a little bit about the obstruction play that turned out to be such a big call there? I mean, was it very obvious to you right away that was going to be the right call or not?
Well, I knew it was the right call, but then again, obstruction is crazy. Like, obstruction is one of those rules because there's so much judgment in it. And it's such a tough play. And anytime the ball is coming from the left side of the field, the catcher pretty much almost always has to obstruct in order to receive the ball. So, right away, I knew that was going to be an obstruction. Now, whether or not the umpire was going to call it is a whole other situation. So it's a big call, but I believe it was the right call.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, is your hand still up?
Sorry, it is not.
Okay, do we have anything else for Coach Lawson? Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks. Appreciate
From there you get the lead, and then there was a one point there you only faced like 2 of the 14 batters or something. Got on after that. What'd you do to kind of get yourself, your own self back in the game, and kind of everybody kind of settled down?
That's a good question. I was just talking to our athletic director a little bit, and I was just telling him that I was kind of nervous in the first inning, just got the jitters. It's postseason, every game just means more. And oddly enough, after the home run was hit, I felt better. And that doesn't really make sense because you would think I would feel more pressure, but I felt, I guess, more motivated to just go at the hitters and give them my best pitches. So
We'll go to Larry next.
Oliver, to follow up on what you said there, that doesn't mean you're going to go out and give up a home run quick in the next game just so you can settle down, does it?
No. No freebies for anyone.
Okay. I'm assuming the moments like this are why you want to play another year here. So how meaningful and rewarding is it to know you made this decision and you're out there today and you get this win?
I mean, I don't even believe that I have the words to say what it means to play another game on our field, especially after what happened last year. Just not being able to finish the season, and just a wave of emotions that I had when I figured out that my season was over and I might not ever pick up a ball again. So it's just amazing, and I'm so grateful just to have another opportunity to play on that field out there in front of our fans.
And speaking of fans, a lot of fans here today. How nice was that, and how motivating was that?
I mean, it was unbelievable because we've been held at a certain capacity for a while, and the weather hasn't been most compliant with us. So it was nice to have a nice day and see a lot of people in blue.
Josh, is your hand still up, or is that from the first question? Okay, we'll go to John.
Autumn, congratulations. As you said, it was pretty hot out there. I was just wondering how your conditioning is and when will you know whether you will be getting to start tomorrow or not?
Right. Usually Coach Lawson tells us who's starting the morning of the game, or like, I'd say about 4 to 5 hours before the game. She wants us to get plenty of sleep and doesn't want us to worry about anything too much the night before. So I'll go get treatment after this. And if they need me tomorrow, I'll be ready.
You only threw 105 pitches. That has to help. You had great control today. How did that go?
It's always nice when you can be efficient with the way that you throw, but hats off to my defense for making the plays when they needed to make them. I just kind of put my trust in them today and let them work, and it ended up working out.
Go to Tim next.
Autumn, congratulations. Just talk about the bottom of the second inning when you guys fell behind, and then it seemed like that sort of sparked you guys. Just was that sort of the mentality that you guys had once you fell behind? It was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always like that. I don't ever want to let the other team score first, but definitely I think that had something to do with the way that we performed in the third inning, or the bottom of the second, whatever it was when we scored the 3 runs. But I definitely felt more motivated to get up there and get the job done at the plate and on the mound.
And did you, at the play at the plate with the obstruction call, were you certain you were safe at that point?
I was not safe, but there was an obstruction call and I saw the umpire give the obstruction call. And so that's when I knew.
Larry, your hand raised for another question.
Yeah, just one. Does winning this game give you guys any more confidence, or is confidence so good you didn't need anything to boost you all up anymore?
And we recognize that we can always be better in different ways, and Northwestern is a great team, and we can't take anyone lightly here on out because it is the postseason. So I think that we have more relief going in, knowing that we're in the winner's bracket, but we are still going to take everyone seriously.
Any more questions for Autumn?
Yeah, I have one. Autumn, I'm curious as to what it's like in the dugout amongst you pitchers. I mean, do you talk to Grace and Tatum and Miranda at all? And what are those conversations like?
Yeah, great question. We talk with Coach Lawson a lot about who is coming up next in their lineup, what they did their last at bat, what their tendencies are, how we're going to attack them. And then pretty much the other pitchers are just very supportive. When they're in the dugout, they kind of, if there's something that I see that I want to relate to them, if they were to come in the game, I make sure to tell them that. We communicate a lot, but that's pretty much how it is.
Drove in the go-ahead runs there at the time and end up scoring what was the decisive run. I guess just what came together for you guys that inning and just kind of, was it the momentum that they kind of put together there in the first or in the top of the inning? Or?
I think one thing that really helped us was our pitcher, the first pitch of the batter in the top of the second, she gives up a home run and then she comes back and she shuts them down. I think that's a huge momentum boost to see your pitcher come back from something like that and stay strong. And that was something that gave us a lot of momentum going into the bottom of the second.
Go to Larry next.
Yeah, Riley, I just wonder what was it like to play in front of a lot of fans again?
It was exciting. It was a little nerve-wracking to see a lot of people again, but it was really exciting. I love hearing the fans. It gets me more hype.
Go to John.
Riley, congratulations. It does have to be fun seeing that all the fans out there and the people sitting in the berm. And throughout the year, Coach Lawson has always stressed the importance of having fun versus winning. And I wondered, now that you're into the tournament, does that change any at all?
Actually, it doesn't change at all. I think fun is the most important part of the game. It keeps you loose, and when you're loose, you can play better. Everything runs a lot smoother. So I think that it's really important to keep on having fun.
So how much fun will it be to survive and advance now?
It's gonna be a lot more fun.
What's your goal between now and tomorrow? Can you just kind of walk us through your routine as to how much rest you're going to get and what's going to actually happen during that time?
Uh, well, I I don't really have a routine, to be honest, but I think one of the main things I like to do is just listen to good music that really gets me to calm back down again, because I get very excited during games, but listening to good music, especially my favorite group, yes, I I love to listen to music to calm me down though.
I'm sorry, I missed it. What was your favorite group?
Oh, BTS. I love BTS. So I love listening to that music. It gets me to calm down. Certain songs calm me down. Some songs like hype me up, but it's always my go-to after a game.
Josh and Connor, that's your favorite group too, right?